What's good, folks? I'm back. RFG is back at it, and I'm here to basically re-upload what was on the video I made of me debunking flat Earth. Okay, I made a video about 4 or 5 months ago, and I was making all of the key points that basically completely put permanent holes in the flat Earth theory. And because of that, YouTube decided to ban my video not only in the US, but in multiple countries as well. Okay? So what I'm doing now is I'm re-uploading this information. Okay? I'm just going to go over it again. And I'm not going to show the video footage of the boxing match that I showed before. Alright? So I'm just going to re-upload this thing. And, this is the official utter nail in the flat Earth coffin. It's flatlined. It's over. It's done with. All right. Now, I don't mean to come off as arrogant or, cocky or whatever. But regardless of my delivery, everyone has to, enter and understand that this is the absolute unbiased truth. Okay? This is the forensic, absolute, unbiased truth. Okay? And so I'm going to debunk this model step by step. So I need, no matter if you're a globe earther or you're a flat earther, you need to listen to these points very carefully. All right? And, if they confuse you, write them down. Try to visualize these points yourself. Okay? And conduct your own experiment, come to your own conclusion. All right? This is just going to be the reasons why I am a globe earther. Okay? And like I said, most of these points put permanent holes in the flat earth theory. So I'm going to get started with the motion of the sun and the motion of the moon over the so-called flat plane. And what you're about to see is what it would really look like if the sun was orbiting around a flat plane and if the moon was orbiting around a flat plane. This is what we would see. All right? So here we go. Okay, now notice, according to their model, the sun never takes any straight paths. What do I mean by that? According to this flat earth model, the sun could never be taking a straight path like this. You see that? Like up and down, like sideways. Because according to the model, the sun has to keep going around and around and around in a circular motion. The sun has to be moving in a circular motion. Therefore, when we look at it in the sky, it's supposed to be taking a curved circular motion. You see? You see, the sun is not going up straight across. It's not going up and down on the flat earth model. It's going circular. So that means over every tiny city that we're in, we're supposed to be able to look up at the sun and see its curved motion move throughout the sky. This is what you're seeing in this depiction right here, okay? And the laws of forensics prove that the sun's image is supposed to start out small as it comes over the horizon, and it's supposed to get bigger and bigger as it goes over the horizon during noon, and as it goes towards afternoon, the sun's image is supposed to get smaller and smaller and smaller as it moves away from us, and it's all supposed to stay at the same altitude, and it's just supposed to get tiny and tiny and vanish from our vision while it moves over other countries, because it has to stay at the same altitude according to this flat earth model. Do you understand? The flat earther's own model, the sun stays at the same altitude and it goes around in the sky in a circular motion. So we're never supposed to see the sun take straight paths over the sky, according to this model. The sun's image is never supposed to stay the same size all throughout the sky, according to the flat earth model. Okay? This is what we would see on the earth if the sun was really orbiting over a flat plane. Okay, the sun would get bigger and bigger as it gets closer to us. Okay? And then it would get tinier and tinier as it got away from us. Now, we would, like I said, we would never see it take a downward motion. Okay? Now, I'm going to get to the points that completely debunk this model. Okay? I'm going to get to the point that completely, utterly debunks this flat earth model. And I'm going to pause it right here. Okay? Here we go. This is the utter nail in the coffin, folks. All right. Now, you see the sun is orbiting the so-called flat plane. The moon is also orbiting the so-called flat plane. According to this model, the person in South America is supposed to be seeing the dark side of the moon, the back side of the moon. The person in Africa is supposed to be seeing the other side of the moon. Person in Europe is supposed to be seeing another side of the moon. Person in North America is supposed to be seeing another side of the moon. Person in northern South America and in the Caribbean is supposed to be seeing the bottom side of the moon. Okay? And the people in Hawaii and Asia are supposed to be seeing another side of the moon. So, ladies and gentlemen, okay, I don't give a fuck what you believe. Flat earth, round earth, square earth, cube earth, triangle earth. According to this model, we are supposed to be seeing at least 5 different sides of the moon each goddamn night. And guess what? You can't create the argument and say that, oh, well, only, each continent experiences nighttime at different times. That's false. That's false. Go do your research. Western Africa and the eastern part of South America experience nighttime at the same time. Let me repeat myself. Eastern South America and Western Africa experience night at the same time. Okay? That is documented fact. That is documented fact. So we would all be seeing 5 different sides of the fucking moon every goddamn night. Okay? And even if you make up the lie and say that, oh, well, the moon is flat disc shaped, it's flat disc shaped. Guess what? A person in South America will be seeing the flat thin side of the disc shaped moon. The person in Africa would be seeing the other flat disc-shaped side of the moon, and the person in North America would be seeing a different disc-shaped side of the moon. And the people in the Caribbean would be seeing the direct bottom of the moon. Okay? So if you say that the moon is a flat disc, and it's flat as a pancake, and it's moving face down over the continents, the person in South America is going to see the flat, thin side of that disc moon. The person in North America is going to see the northern flat disc side of the moon. The person in Africa is going to see the eastern flat disc side of the moon. The person in the Caribbean is going to see the bottom of the flat disc moon. Do you get me, folks? Do you get me? According to this model, to the flat earther's own model, we have to be seeing 5 different sides of the moon each night. We're only able to see one side of the moon all across the earth. Do you know how that's possible? Do you know why that is? That is because the earth's curvature is only allowing one portion of the earth to see the moon at one time. Okay, so the earth's curvature is blocking the view of the moon from the other parts of the earth. Okay? Okay? Do we get that? Do we get that? Okay, so I'm going to keep it going. Like I said, this is going to be a longer video because I'm going to break down and bust up and debunk every fucking point that the flat earthers got. Every point is going to get busted up. Okay, this is what we would be seeing on different continents. You flat earthers, you got to explain yourselves. And if you cannot have a logical explanation, okay, for your model, and you cannot break down your model forensically, and you can't explain it forensically, that means that you have fallen back into a religion. Okay? That's what the fuck we be seeing on the flat earth. You see the moon in reality, the moon takes a downward motion because the image of it is moving over the curvature of the earth. But you see, if the moon moved down on a flat plane, this is what we be seeing. If the moon moved downwards on a flat plane, it would never leave our sight, folks. It would never leave our sight because the sun and the moon, according to the flat earthers, is only a few thousand miles away from us. So that means we'd be able to stand on any mountain point, okay, and look through a telescope and see the sun shining over different continents. And you can't tell me vanishing point, oh, vanishing point. You know why you can't give me that bullshit? Because the stars are over twice the distance away from us than the sun and the moon are. Let me repeat. The stars are over twice the distance away from us as the sun and the moon. And we can see the stars with the naked eye. Okay? Which means that if this model is correct, okay, we should be able to stand on any mountain point, any high elevated point, look through a telescope and see the sun shining over other continents. Okay? Why aren't we able to do that? Why can I look through an amateur telescope and see Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and the moons orbiting around Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus? Okay, I can see those, but I can't see the sun shining over other continents around the flat plane. Give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. Your model is getting debunked. And like I said, folks, I'm just getting started, so you might want to get your popcorn ready. All right? Okay, so this is another point that debunks your flat earth. Now, earlier I explained that how the eastern part of South America and the western part of Africa experience night at the same time. That's not possible on this flat earth model, okay? If you look south in the nighttime in South America and you look south in the nighttime in South Africa, you're going to see the same star constellations at the same time of the night, at the same time. Okay, that's not possible on this model. So I'll just go ahead and let Voice of Reason explain it to you.
Around it. The stars would have to be arranged in a dome shape over the flat Earth. In this model, it makes no sense that people in the north cannot see the southern stars, and vice versa. And it is particularly absurd that people in the outer ring can all see the same southern stars, but not the northern stars at all. There should be nothing blocking their view of all the northern stars.
Another point that completely debunks flat earth. If you travel south of the equator, if you travel to southern Argentina, southern Chile, southern Brazil, okay, if you travel to Australia, if you travel to New Zealand, if you travel to Madagascar, if you travel to South Africa, you will not be able to see Polaris in the sky. But you will be able to see the Southern Cross in the sky. If you are living in North America, if you are living in Europe, if you are living in Russia, if you are living in China, if you are living in Northern Africa, you will not be able to see the Southern Cross, but you will be able to see the Northern Star. You know why? That is because when you're in the Northern Hemisphere, the Earth's curvature is blocking your vision of the Southern Cross. When you're in the Southern Hemisphere, you can see the Southern Cross, but the Earth's curvature is blocking your vision of seeing the Northern Polaris Star.
Also, consider that on nights when the moon is visible, we all see the same moon running across the sky, everywhere on Earth, and we see the stars behind it. This works perfectly fine on the heliocentric model. But when you look north from the outer ring of the flat Earth model, there is no logical reason you would not see the northern stars behind the moon. The moon is supposedly close by and circling above near the equator. And you would be looking northward with the moon near the center of the sky. But somehow the northern stars can't be seen? This is an insurmountable failure of the flat Earth model. And it only gets worse for the flat Earth model. The nightly rotation of stars is perfectly explained by the Earth's rotation on its axis. Every night, we see the stars rise and set overhead. They move very slowly, but if you watch for half an hour or so, you will notice them change positions, moving from east to west. In the northern hemisphere, you will also notice the stars to the north rotate counterclockwise around a central point, called the celestial pole, very near a star called Polaris. You can easily see this yourself. Look for the Big Dipper, and the end of the dipper always points to Polaris, a relatively bright star. With patience, you can watch the Big Dipper and the other nearby stars rotate around Polaris each night. This phenomenon is a favorite subject of professional and amateur stargazers, and you can find many long-exposure photographs and time-lapses of it. In the southern hemisphere, when you look to the south, you also see stars rotate around a point, but they are different stars, and they rotate in the opposite direction, clockwise.
So we're gonna go over that again. When you are in South America, when you are in southern Argentina, southern Chile, when you are in southern Brazil, when you are in New Zealand, when you are in Australia, when you are in Madagascar, when you are in South Africa, and you look south, you're going to see the Southern Cross, but the stars are going to be rotating clockwise. Okay? When you are in North America, when you are in Europe, when you are in Russia, when you are in China, when you are in Japan, when you are in anywhere in the northern hemisphere, and you look up, you're going to see Polaris, and the stars are going to rotate counterclockwise. Okay? That cannot happen on your flat Earth model. This can be perfectly explained on your heliocentric globe model, but it cannot be explained on your flat Earth model. Okay? These are the forensic facts. See, I don't deal with opinion. I don't deal with emotion. I don't deal with what's popular, what's cool to talk about. You know what I'm saying? What's really trendy. RFG doesn't fuck with what's trendy. I fuck with what's right. What information is right. You get me?
There is a star named Sigma Octantis very near the southern celestial pole, but is not a very bright star, so it is difficult to see. This apparent spinning of the stars around a north and south axis is perfectly explained by the heliocentric globe model, as the spherical Earth rotates on its axis and our view of the essentially stationary distant stars rotates. The distant stars to the north and south spin around a point because we are seeing them over the spinning axis of the Earth. Depending on how far north or south you are, some stars stay above the horizon all night long. These are called circumpolar stars, but they are completely different stars in the north and in the south. How would this work in the flat Earth model? Well, to put it simply, it couldn't. In any flat Earth model, the stars would have to be arranged in a semi-spherical dome over the flat circular Earth, and Polaris would have to be in the center. And that would seem to explain what we see in the north. But south of the equator, the outer concentric ring in the flat Earth model, Now you have huge problems. When you look to the south, in South America, in Southern Africa, or in Australia, you see the same clockwise spinning stars. Yet people in those 3 locations would be looking in 3 different directions when looking to the south. Yet somehow they see the same thing. Where could the southern celestial pole and the circumpolar stars be in this model? Are they in many places at once? No. It simply cannot work.
You got that?
Of course.
You got that? You got that? Okay? Your model, your flat earth model, makes no forensic sense. Your flat earth model makes no forensic sense. It's being forensically debunked. Okay? So if you believe in something that cannot be forensically proven, you have fallen back into a religion. That's what the flat earth is. It's a fucking religion. It's a delusion. Okay? It's a massive delusion, and it is a religion. All right? Now, okay, I'm going to continue here. Like I was saying before, according to the laws of perspective, when the sun goes over the horizon and comes towards us during the day, according to the flat earth model, it's supposed to start out small. It's supposed to start out really tiny, then get huge, 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 huge. Then as it goes back over the horizon for the sunset, it's supposed to get smaller, 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 and smaller, and it's supposed to stay at the same altitude and vanish from our vision. Now, you see what I'm pointing at right here? You see what I'm pointing at right here? These 2 things cannot happen on your flat earth model. This right here is a huge sun. This is the image of a huge sun, okay? Going down over the horizon, moving in a downward motion. In a downward motion. That cannot happen on your flat earth preschool, play school model. It can't happen, okay? So right here, the sun's image stayed the same size all the way throughout the day during the sunrise and the sunset, and you see the sun staying the same size during the sunset. Okay? Look how large it is. Look how it actually looks larger during the goddamn sunset as opposed to the sunrise. That cannot happen on your flat earth model. Okay? Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Now, before I move on to the next point, I want to clarify that there are situations and images of the sun on this earth where the sun's image does in fact get smaller and smaller and smaller as it moves away. But let me explain. That is only due to something called atmospheric distortion. Atmospheric distortion, which is pollution, chemtrails, okay? Chemtrails and forms of pollution form atmospheric distortion, which distorts and clouds the sun's image, which gives the sun's image a smaller and smaller size as it moves away from our perspective. So what I'm saying is when you see the days when there's no atmospheric distortion, when the skies are really, really clear, the sun's image is going to stay the same size all the way through sunrise, okay, and sunset. It's going to stay the same size, and that cannot happen. That cannot happen on your flat earth model. All right? Two more points that completely put major holes in your flat earth model. Okay? This right here is called a Mercury transit. This is a Mercury transit. Now, Mercury transits take place in between 3 days and a week out of every year. And it is when the image of Mercury comes in between the sun and the earth. All right? A Mercury transit happens once a year. Okay? and it's when the image of Mercury comes in between the sun and the earth. The image of Mercury comes in between the sun and the earth. And the other times of the year, we cannot see Mercury. All right? The same thing happens with Venus. There's something called a Venus transit, where the image of Venus comes in between the earth and the sun for no longer than a week per year. And the rest of the year, okay, we cannot really see Venus for most of the rest of the year. We cannot see Venus. And see, this is because the images of Mercury and Venus are going behind the sun. You see, all the planets are moving around the sun, circularly around the sun. And during the time of Mercury transits and Venus transits, that's when Mercury and Venus come in between the earth and the sun. So the other times when we cannot see Venus and Mercury in the sky, that is because their image is being blocked by the sun. That means the sun, okay, is shining directly on the earth, and that is the time of year when Mercury and Venus are on the other side of the sun. Okay? And you see, why don't we have any Jupiter transits that come in between the earth and the sun? Why don't we have any Mars transits that come in between the earth and the sun? Why don't we have any Saturn transits that come between the earth and the sun? That's because Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn are behind the earth. They are behind the earth, but they still orbit around the sun. How do we know they orbit around the sun? Because there's certain times, okay, during certain decades, because Jupiter and Saturn, they move slower. So in certain decades, Jupiter and Saturn are not visible because that's when Jupiter and Saturn, their image is blocked by the sun. You see? So they're behind the earth, but they still rotate around the sun. And there's certain decades where we cannot see Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, because their image is being blocked by the sun. Their image is behind the sun. Okay? This, like I said, Mercury and Venus transits prove that the planets Mercury and Venus orbit around the sun, and prove that Mercury and Venus are closer to the sun than the Earth is. All right? Okay? And, this is proof right here that the Earth is in motion. There's been records of this going back to the 1800s, the 17 and the 1800s. Okay? Even the late 1600s. The hurricanes and the cyclones in the southern hemisphere rotate clockwise. The hurricanes and the cyclones in the northern hemisphere rotate counterclockwise. That can't happen on a play school flat earth model, because on a play school flat earth model, all right, on a play school flat earth model, all you have is a flat motionless plane with the sun and moon going round and round and round. The only thing that be causing the goddamn weather is the movement of the sun and the moon. All right? So all the wind currents on the earth would be blowing in one damn direction. Okay? So this right here is before HARP was established. Okay? What I'm talking about right here was documented far before HARP was established. Okay? There are records and documents of hurricanes and cyclones hitting areas in South America, okay, in the 16 and 1700s, that prove the hurricanes in the southern hemisphere rotate clockwise. Okay, and the hurricanes in the northern hemisphere rotate counterclockwise. That cannot happen on the flat earth model. That proves that the earth is in motion, and that proves that the earth is rotating one way and the moon is orbiting the earth going the other way. So that causes two major wind currents on the earth's surface. Okay, so another main point that flat earthers love to bring up is, show me the curvature, show me the curvature, show me the curvature. Now, a lot of flat earthers like to bring up Lake Pontchartrain. Lake Pontchartrain actually completely, utterly debunked the flat earth model. Because like I said, according to perspective, all right, if we were on a flat table and we had dominoes that were all the same size on the flat table, right? Okay, we would never see the base of those dominoes go up, 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 and up on a photo's diagram. We would never see the dominoes, the base of the dominoes. We would never see the base of the dominoes keep moving up, 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 and getting higher in the picture frame. Okay, if this was a flat earth, this base right here would be down here. Okay, it wouldn't be all the way up here. It'd be down here. And this is the absolute nail in the coffin. If you draw an imaginary line, or if you have the program to do it on your computer, you can do it on your computer. Draw a base, draw a line, okay, at the bottom of the base of these pillars right here, and the line is going to go up, 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 and as you get towards the horizon, it's going to go down, 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 down. That cannot happen on your flat earth, on your supposed flat earth. Now, from what I'm hearing from all these flat earthers is curvature has never been measured. This is what we're hearing from flat earthers. Curvature has never been measured. But this photo obviously shows something different. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, you guys are getting debunked. You guys are getting completely debunked, and you're getting caught. You're getting caught photoshopping images. The images that Eric Dubé put to the forefront. When you see, the horizon with the flat lines, ladies and gentlemen, that's all fucking photoshopped. Because if it wasn't photoshopped, where the fuck are the images of the continents flattened out? If those images that Eric Dubé, if those images that Eric Dubé, if they were real, okay, if those images of the flat horizon over the sky at those altitudes, if those were real, where the fuck are the pictures of the continents flattened out? So guess what that means? That means that the flat earthers are in the same position as NASA. That means that the flat earthers are in the same position as NASA, because they're talking about NASA's images are photoshopped. Fucking Eric Dubé's images of the flat horizon at the high altitude, those are photoshopped. Because if they weren't photoshopped, where the fuck are the pictures of the continents that are flattened out? Come on now, flat brainers. This is, like I said, these are all logical daggers. These are all logical daggers in your play school flat earth model. This image right here of Lake Pontchartrain completely debunks, your flat earth delusion. But like I said, if you want a super nail in the coffin, I'll show you the super sand nail in the coffin.
The soap you shower with, you probably haven't even questioned what bar soap.
All right, this was a video I did February 27th, 2017, where I recovered the video of a flat earther launching a rocket into satellite orbit, and there was 2 cameras on the rocket, and the flat earthers basically edited the video and had the video cut off at a certain point, and the flat earthers made up a lie and said that the rocket stopped in the atmosphere because the rocket hit the firmament. Well, I recovered the unedited video that the flat earthers tried to cover up and tried to hide, okay? And that image, the images that were shown when the rocket got into satellite orbit, basically debunked the whole flat Earth bullshit. All right? So we're going to get to that really quick. And I'm going to start the video off right here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Okay, now the first thing I want to take note of here is what flat earthers see. They love to say fisheye lens, fisheye lens, fisheye lens, fisheye lens. Oh really? Fisheye lens? Now last time I checked, fisheye lenses were supposed to distort the images of straight objects in the field of view. Now, the question I have is what image in this picture is distorted? This is a straight pole. This is a straight pole right here. Okay, that's going diagonally. That is diagonally positioned. This is a straight pole right here. This is a diagonal shadow right here. This is another diagonal shadow. Diagonal shadows, they're all straight. Okay, they're all perpendicular of each other. Yeah, there's no fucking distorted images in this picture frame that prove any kind of fisheye lens. So this was a non-fisheye lens that a flat earther put on a rocket, okay, to try to prove his fucking flat earth delusion. And let's see what happened.
Okay, this is another angle of the video.
Shit, let's go back. Right here, right there. Okay, what's distorted? What's distorted? You have a fucking flat horizon. You see? That's the flat horizon that you flat brainers love to brag about and love to talk about. The flat horizon, right? Then you obviously have a flag right here. Okay, the shadow of the flag is straight. The cone is straight. This chord right here is straight. And this is the original shape of the fucking flag. What's distorted in this image to give you the impression that this is a fisheye lens? This is not a fisheye lens, flat brainer. Read it and weep. So let's see what the flat earthers tried to hide.
Okay, here we go. This is the sideways camera. The camera on the other side of the rocket, which is going to show the curvature of the Earth. And this was the flat earthers' own video.
That's the video I'm playing that I made in 2017.
Come into focus.
So the camera's about to come into focus. Okay, so obviously right there, that's not a straight line. Okay, right here, you can see the dip. You can see the dip right here. And when you look towards the bottom of the screen right here, you can see the dip. But I'm going to let this continue.
Okay, clearly right here, this rocket is being shot straight up. So clearly right there, that is not a straight line. Okay, there's curvature there, but let's keep it going.
Now this is unedited, no fisheye lens. You can see the curvature. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Is that a straight line? I don't think that's a straight line, flat brainers. I don't think that's a straight line. Let's keep it going.
Holy shit. Look at that dip. Look at that dip of curvature, flat brainers. Whoa. Whoa, there you see the land. You see the land. You see the clouds on top of the land. And you see the horizon. But the horizon is not a straight line, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? You flat brainers just disproved yourselves. You just exposed yourselves as liars, frauds. Okay? And you got your whole movement is funded and ran by NASA. It's funded and ran by NASA. Okay? You guys have been caught. You edited this video to take this footage out, and now you're gonna be exposed. Now you're gonna be fucking exposed. Okay? Because you deceived and you misled a lot of people. Okay, now you're gonna pay for it. Oh shit, more curvature. Ooh, ooh shit. Ooh.
Look at that.
Oh shit.
Holy shit.
More curvature. More curvature. Look at that. You see that? That ain't no.
Now my question is to the flat earthers is, how the fuck is that a fisheye lens when there was no curvature? There was no curvature when that rocket was launched, like before it was launched, when it was on the ground. There was no distortion of the view. Nothing was disproportionately curved. You know, all the poles that were part of the stand for the rocket, the flag, you know, all of the metal bars, even the horizon was completely flat. But soon as it got to satellite orbit, now we see the Earth's curvature. That is a huge problem. That's a huge problem for you flat earthers, and that actually proves that it was a non-fisheye lens that was used.
Straight line. Look at this video for yourselves, people. Here's the title of it. More curvature.
Holy
More
shit.
Curvature. Look
wow. Oh, they're done. They're done. They're done.
Look at that.
They're done.
Look at that, flat brainers.
They're done.
Your own goddamn video that you tried to edit. It's over. It's ball game over. You're done. You're done.
And see, unlike the leader of the flat brain movement, Eric Dubé, when Eric Dubé showed his photoshopped images of a flat horizon, he didn't show the images of flat continents. Right here, you see video footage of a non-fisheye lens camera that shows the curvature to the Earth's horizon, and if you look right here, it shows the clouds and the land, all in one photo, all in one video. So this right here proved that everything Eric Dubé had to say.
It's ball game over. You're done. You're done. It's a ball. It's a fucking ball. You can't say anything. There's no argument.
Look, we're going to go back up.
Back that up just a little bit. Back that up just a little bit.
You look at the mountains. You can see the mountains clearly.
Look at that.
Look. What more proof? What more proof do you need? What more proof do you need? If you, like I said, when you deny forensic evidence in front of your face, you've been sucked back into a religion. You've been sucked into a religion.
Back it up again.
That's what the flat Earth bullshit is. It's a psyop. It's a CIA MK Ultra psyop, and it's a religion. It's a form of a religion because it was first pushed by the Vatican and the Christian Crusades.
I'll back it up again for the flat brainers.
All that's curvature. That's curvature. More curvature.
Yep, there goes the curve.
More curvature.
Oh shit, that's a big ass curve right there. When you pause the video at 5:51, you see a huge curve. Look at that. Look at that. Is that a straight line? Is that a straight line, flat brainers? Is that a straight line, flat brainers? Answer the question. Is that a straight line? This is your own video where you guys tried to say that there was a firmament above the earth. There's no goddamn firmament. Okay, there's no goddamn firmament. Okay, that's a lie. You said that this rocket was stopped by the firmament. That's a lie, because the only thing that stopped the rocket from propelling itself was the thrusters that were thrown off of the rocket. And when the rocket was sent in a spiral motion, okay, and it was trying to balance itself out, it showed the Earth's curvature. This is not a straight line, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? That's not a straight line over the horizon. Go check this video out for yourselves. They've been completely debunked and exposed.
And the crazy thing is, I put that title in, Flat Earth Dome Hoax Exposed, and I believe YouTube took that off of YouTube. So what I'm showing you now is taken off of YouTube, and shit, it may have been the reason that this video was banned in multiple countries, because I put the same video footage and information on the last video I did, and it got debunked, and they said that it was because I showed a boxing match. So I'm uploading this footage again without the boxing match. Hopefully it doesn't get banned, because that's what YouTube is doing. YouTube is trying to promote the bullshit flat earth, and they're also paying these flat earth pushers under the table through YouTube checks, by the way. And the flat earth debunking videos, they're getting shunned, they're getting flagged, and they're getting banned.
Look, more curvature. More curvature. More curvature. More curvature. More curvature. Is that enough curvature? For the flat brainers, is that enough? This is your own video that you edited on purpose. You're done. Oh, more curvature. Yep, you guys are toast. So that's really, that's what I had to show you as far.
Yeah. Yep. That about sums that up. Okay. So if you guys just want to check that out, you won't be able to find Flat Earth Debunked Glass Dome Hoax Exposed. Maybe you will. Me personally, I was not able to look this up on YouTube. I think YouTube probably deleted that video from this guy's channel. But I recorded what he had. I recorded that video and I uploaded it myself. The video that I have is called The Flat Earth Movement is NASA. That's where you could see that evidence. So I basically showed you the curvature of the Earth on the Earth's oceans, lakes, okay? And I showed you through camera footage, non-fisheye lens camera footage, through a rocket that was put into satellite orbit. So I showed you from so-called space and the ocean. This is another argument that flat earthers love to make. They love to say, if we're really spinning 1,000 miles per hour, why aren't we flying off of the Earth? If we're spinning 1,000 miles per hour, why aren't we spinning off of the Earth? Well, first you have to understand the law of perspective and the law of magnetism. The law of perspective and the laws of magnetism. All right? Now, if you're going into a cruise ship and you are out and about mingling with people, speaking with other people, having a good time on the cruise ship, you are not going to feel the movement of that cruise ship over the water. It's just going to feel like you're on land. You're not even going to realize that you're moving. The only time you're going to realize you're moving on a cruise ship is when you are out on the dock or the deck or whatever they call it, and you are looking at the ocean yourself. That's the only time you can feel the actual movement of the ship when you're on a cruise ship. Otherwise, you ain't feeling nothing. So you mean to tell me if you can't feel the movement on a cruise ship, you expect to feel the movement on an object that is an infinite number times your mass? The earth is an infinite number times your mass. Okay? And it moves, and it rotates 1,000 miles per hour. It is approximately 25,000 miles in circumference, and it moves 1,000 miles per hour. Okay, why can we not feel that? That is because we are literally microbes compared to the Earth's size, and we are magnetized to the Earth's surface. What does that mean? Well, I'll show you what that means. Go get a watermelon. Go conduct this experiment. Go get a watermelon. Look at the watermelon under a microscope and take note of the microorganisms that are on the watermelon. Throw the watermelon onto a trampoline. Pick the watermelon back up, okay, and look at it. Look at the surface under a microscope again and see if the microbes flew off of the watermelon. I bet you $7,000 if you throw the watermelon onto a trampoline and multiple times and pick it up and put it back under the microscope, the microbes are still going to be on the watermelon, on the same place you saw them before. Why is that? Because this is what you don't learn in school, okay? Every solid, so-called solid object is a magnetic object. It is magnetized to the earth, okay? And just like the earth, we sentient beings, yes, fruits and vegetables are considered life forms. They have their own electromagnetic pulse, which means that they naturally magnetize microorganisms to their surface. And you can move the object, you can throw the object, you can punch the object, you can throw it up on a trampoline. The microorganisms will remain magnetized to this object's surface. So it is the same thing when we look at the earth and humans and life on earth. Okay? 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 And if you want to have a replication on the speed of Earth's rotation, purchase any workout medicine ball with a 25-foot circumference and spin that ball 1 foot per hour. This is how you replicate the speed of the Earth's rotation. Get a ball with the circumference of 25 feet and you spin that ball 1 foot per hour. That will be the perfect replication for the speed of the Earth's spin. Okay? So you're telling me if you get a ball with a 25-foot circumference and you spin that ball 1 foot per hour, are you telling me the microbes are going to fly off of that ball? Is that what you're going to tell me, flat brainer? Is that what you're going to tell me, flat brainer? Come on, man. Come on, man. It's 2019 Gregorian time. It's like the year 6,800 Ethiopian time. We got to do better. We got to do better, folks. Like I said, and I'm not even talking strictly to so-called black people. I'm talking to all races, man. We all got to do better, okay? Because the CIA did us over with a major mindfuck with this flat earth bullshit. Because I completely debunked this shit and blew this shit out of the water, okay? So, you want to talk about, water never takes a spherical shape. Water never takes a spherical shape. Well, if you studied your microverse more than the visual reality you see every day, you would know and understand that the original particles that make up water are indeed spherical. You have spherical light orbs that create light photons that give us the illusion of light matter. Then you have the light matter that condenses and creates neutrinos. Then you have the spherical neutrinos that come together and make the spherical atoms. Okay, spherical water atoms come together and create spherical water molecules. And when the spherical water molecules come together, they create a spherical water drop. And when the spherical water drops come together, they drop on Earth, and from our perspective on the land, it appears flat. But when we look closely, okay, and we do our diligent research, we see that we are on an object with curvature. Okay, we are on an object with curvature. You see that? It goes up. The base of these pillars goes up, and then it goes back down. And these, like I said, they're all the same distance apart from each other. This cannot happen on a flat Earth model. Okay. So, we are basically just on a giant water atom. The Earth and the whole solar system is nothing but an atomic. It's nothing but an atom and a nucleus on a cosmic level. Okay? The solar system is the macrocosm of the atom. The solar system is the macrocosm of the nucleus and the electrons and protons. Okay? The solar system is nothing but a macrocosm of nucleus, protons, and electrons. All right? We can also see this as cells. Okay? All being giant cells orbiting around each other in an organism, okay, known as the galaxy. A whole bunch of galaxies orbiting around each other, which create the visible universe. All one giant organism. Everything is in motion. Okay? Everything deals with vibrational frequency and motion. All right? Also, other points that completely debunk flat Earth. One is that through amateur telescopes, this is not NASA. Everybody listening can go purchase a telescope in between $350 and $500, and you will be able to see images like this of Mars, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn. You'll also be able to see the moons that orbit Jupiter and Saturn. Like I said, these obviously prove that the planets that orbit around the sun and around the earth, it proves that these planets are spherical. Okay? It proves that they're spherical because we also see other sides of these planets which prove that they're ball-shaped and spherical. All right? So, flat earthers, you see right here, this is Jupiter through amateur telescope, and you can see, you can even see the spherical moons orbiting around spherical Jupiter through amateur telescope. You see? But what flat earthers will tell you is that all these planets that we're seeing are nothing but just luminaries. They're nothing but just watery luminaries. So, if they're not spherical objects, all right, that means that our eyes are fooling us. That's what that means. And what these flat earthers are doing is they're taking pictures of the planets with cheap ass telescopes. So they're buying telescopes that are like fucking $50 to $150 and looking at these damn planets, you know what I'm saying? In the cities that they're in with all the fucking pollution in the sky, and when they're getting these distorted images, they're saying, hey look, these planets, they're not really planets, they're just luminaries. No, you're just using cheap ass telescopes. That's what's going on. So that's like somebody buying a camera from McDonald's and taking a picture of you with that camera from McDonald's, and just because your image came out terrible and it came out distorted, they now say that you're not a real human because your image is distorted in the picture. No, you just took a picture of that person with a cheap ass busted camera. Okay? So don't look at these planets orbiting around the solar system with cheap ass telescopes. Like I said, if you spend a good $350 to $500 on a telescope, you will be able to see clear pictures of the planets that are orbiting around the sun and the earth. Okay? Okay. And right here, same thing with Saturn. All of these images are from amateur telescopes. Okay? So flat brainers can no longer bring up the argument and say, NASA. Nope, not anymore. Okay, this is amateur footage. This is amateur footage. Okay, also, there is a huge misconception going on in the so-called conscious community, and I believe you actually have YouTube agents who are getting paid to promote the flat earth garbage. And one of their points is that ancient societies and ancient cultures are basically promoted flat earth. RFG is here to tell you that is utter bullshit. That is utter bullshit. Okay? There's other people that are saying that there were no globes in Kemet and that there were no globes in Africa in ancient societies. They're either terribly miseducated or they're liars. It's one of the two. Right here, we have ancient Sumeria, where, you know, they clearly have hieroglyphics of a heliocentric solar system carved in their hieroglyphic walls. Okay? Some people depict this as the sun and the planets that are orbiting around the sun. Okay? And other people are depicting this picture as a depiction of when Saturn was the star of the solar system. Okay? Because Saturn used to be a star that had planets orbiting around it as well. All right? Either way, this Sumerian hieroglyphic clearly shows heliocentrism, a heliocentric cosmos. All right? Plain and simple. And Sumeria is older. It predates Kemet. Okay? And, we got other people out there claiming that the Dogon claimed the flat earth, which is complete, utter fuckery and a flat out lie, okay? Because right here, it is public knowledge that the flat earth preach a heliocentric cosmos and have been preaching a heliocentric cosmos for thousands and thousands of years. And right here, you have Sigitolo, which is Sirius A. You have Potolo, which is Sirius B. You have Imiyatolo, which is Sirius C. And then you have Nyontolo, which orbits Sirius C. Okay? And this is all heliocentric. This shows that the Sirius star system is a trinary star system. When you have a star orbiting around another star, okay, that's being orbited by another star, that's being orbited by a planet, that's heliocentrism. That's heliocentrism. And that comes directly from the Dogon tribe, the wisest cosmologists on the earth. Okay? But you want more? You want more, folks? You want more, folks? Oh, like I said, I got more. I'm hearing that people are saying there were no globes in Kemet. I got people saying that there were no globes in Kemet. That there were no globes in Kemet in Africa. But that has been completely debunked because the original globes that were created on this earth were made from ostrich eggs. That's right. And where are ostriches found, folks? Where are ostriches found? Oh, that's right. They're found in Africa. Oh, my goodness. Oh, really? The original globes were made in Africa, and they were made from ostrich eggs. And these are the globes that the Moors used to use as pyramid maps. The Moors used to use these ostrich egg globes as pyramid maps. Okay? Okay? Go do the damn research. Go do the damn research. The original globes that were made were used as pyramid maps to locate and to navigate from different pyramid locations on the earth. They used globes that were made out of ostrich eggs. Okay? The original cosmology that entered Kemet was called the Heliopolis cosmology, and Heliopolis is root word helio, meaning sun-centered. Okay? Okay? Also, the original Maya. Okay? A few months ago, I did a video on the original Maya. The original Maya and Aztec had a game called Pits. Okay? This game called Pits was a depiction of the sun and the moon moving through the galaxy, moving through the cosmos. All right? So the spherical ball that the Mayans were playing with in this game, it was a depiction of the earth and the sun moving through the galactic center at the end of every cosmic age. All right? And this is how your basketball game was formed. When you look at the basketball is actually the Visca of Pisces. If you look at the Visca of Pisces symbol, the Visca of Pisces, that is the same symbol that is put on the basketball, okay? And it's also the Terra symbol. And the Terra symbol symbolizes the earth, all right? The basketball symbolizes the earth going through the galactic center, the galactic Milky Way, okay? And the original form of basketball was created by the Maya, created by the Aztec. The ball, the spherical ball, was a depiction of the spherical earth and the spherical sun moving through the cosmos. Let's keep it going. So the original pushers of this flat earth garbage was none other than the Vatican Church, okay, that took over Kemet and that took over other indigenous cultures across the earth during the Christian Crusades. All right? They had everyone conform to Christianity. If you did not, you were either jailed or put to death. They had everyone conform to the flat earth doctrine. If they did not conform, they were put in jail or they were put to death. If they were practicing holistic methods of curing certain illnesses, they were considered witches and they were put to death. All right? That goes right along with your bullshit Christian Catholic bullshit, your Jesus bullshit, and your flat earth bullshit. They go hand in hand. Okay? And this is another major nail in the coffin. The astronomer, the famous astronomer Galileo, was put in prison for 8 years for telling the Catholic Church that the earth was a globe and that the sun rotated around the earth. Oh no, for saying that the earth rotated around the sun and saying that the earth was a globe. Okay? Galileo was jailed for 8 years, was prisoned for 8 years for telling the Catholic Church that the earth rotates around the sun, that the other planets rotate around the sun, and that the earth is a globe. Let's see what happened to Galileo after he told this to the Vatican. On this day, April 12th, 1633, Chief Inquisitor Father Vincenzo Maculani Firenzuola appointed the Pope Urban the Eighth. Okay, appointed by the Pope Urban the Eighth, begins the inquisition of physicist and astronomer Galileo. Galileo was ordered to turn himself into the Holy Office to begin trial for holding the belief that the earth revolves around the sun, which was deemed heretical by the Catholic Church. Standard practice demanded that the accused be imprisoned and secluded during the trial. This was the second time Galileo was in the hot seat for refusing to accept church orthodoxy that the earth was the immovable center of the universe. In 1616, he had been forbidden from holding or defending his beliefs. In 1633 interrogation, Galileo denied that he held belief in the Copernican view, but continued to write about the issue and evidence as a means of discussion rather than belief. The church had decided the idea that the sun revolved around the earth was an absolute fact of scripture, from that bullshit Bible that was revised 11 times in the same language, that could not be disputed, despite the fact that scientists had known for centuries that the earth was not the center of the universe. This time, Galileo's technical argument didn't win the day. On June 22nd, 1633, the church handed down the following order: we pronounce, judge, and declare that you, the said Galileo, have rendered yourself vehemently suspected by this holy office of heresy, that is, of having believed and held the doctrine, okay, that the sun is the center of the world, and that it does not move from east to west, and that the earth does move, and it is not the center of the world. Okay? So, right here, we basically see that the main pushers of this flat earth bullshit was the caveman. It came from the caveman, and it tied into his religion, and it was pushed by the Vatican. And the Vatican, when they invaded Kemet and caused Kemet to fall, they went over to other indigenous cultures and they forced them to conform to Christianity and the flat earth doctrine, okay, or die, or they killed them. You see, they called Galileo a heretic for believing that the earth revolves around the sun and the other planets revolve around the sun. You see, because Galileo just did forensic evidence that proved the heliocentric model to him. You know what I'm saying? And here we are again. You have motherfuckers out here who think they're on to some kind of conspiracy when they talk about this flat earth bullshit, but I just debunked every fucking point. I just debunked every fucking point. See what I'm saying? So, I showed you, where that shit came from. Okay, the Vatican. Then it grew, and it evolved. The flat earth doctrine and society evolved, okay, in the late 1800s and early 1900s. And it was taken over by a man named Wilbur Glenn Valieva. Wilbur Glenn Valieva took over the flat earth society in a city called Zion City, Illinois. He was doing this in a city called Zion City, Illinois. Okay, because he was following the orders of the Zion City, Illinois. Okay, the individuals who basically give the Vatican their orders, the Zions, the major pushers of the flat earth bullshit. And this guy was a religious nut. Just go out and do your research on this guy, on this clown. He was a Freemason. He was a homosexual and a devout racist. Okay? So when you follow under the flat earth theology and the flat earth way of thinking, that is not a conscious so-called way of thinking. You have so-called black people calling themselves conscious, but they're taking up the doctrine of the goddamn Catholic Church and fucking the Zions in Zion City. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? And this is the person who was paid off by the government in 2015 to spread his bullshit and his nonsense over the internet. This is Eric Dubé, but I like to call him Eric Dugay. Eric Dugay, the Mr. Crossdresser, just like Mr. J. Edgar Hoover, okay, motherfucker that works for the CIA, COINTELPRO. The flat Earth psyop was put to the forefront to stop the truthers from coming together and bringing up criminal charges on the people who were responsible for 9/11. There was a group of people who were getting ready to bring up the government on charges, okay, on corruption, conspiracy, and treason on 9/11, on their participation in 9/11. And all out of the blue, here comes this flat earth bullshit out of nowhere, okay? And that was to distract, discredit, and split up the truther community. And goddamn, the CIA has done a good job. They have done a good job because they've gotten a lot of people. They've gotten millions of religious nutcracks and ignorant fools to go back into the dark ages. Go back into the fucking caveman ages and pick back up the belief of the play school flat earth theory. The CIA, they're masterminds. They're masterminds. All they had to do was pay off some shields and some agents, pay off some industry agents to make it look like it was a real fucking topic, like it was something that was really worth discussing. And you got motherfuckers talking about this information like it, you know, it's something profound, like it's some kind of real reality. But like I said, you can either believe. Woo! You can either believe. I'm back, baby. I'm back. I'm back. You can either believe Wilbur Glenn Believer and Eric Dubé, or you can believe Master Naba of the Dogon tribe. Because this is about to come out of Master Naba's own mouth. This is about to come out of Master Naba's own mouth.
300, 2,500, 2,600 years ago. Okay. Please, I want you to follow very carefully because for us to understand.
And before he gets started, I want to note that Master Naba has never been indoctrinated by any Europeanized form of education. He has spent basically his entire life learning the cosmology and learning the teachings of the Dogon tribe. This is a blood member of the Dogon tribe, the wisest cosmologists on the earth, okay? And I proved to you that in Sumeria, they believed in a heliocentric cosmos. They knew about the heliocentric cosmos. That the Dogon know that we live in a heliocentric cosmos. The Mayans and the Aztecs knew that we live in a heliocentric cosmos. Okay? And so did other African cultures. That's why the original globes were made out of ostrich eggs, and they came from Africa, and they were used to make pyramid maps. Okay, so let's hear what Master Naba has to say.
We would have an approach like a puzzle-like approach. One thing here, one thing there, one thing here, one thing there. Then we put it together and see what we get. So, what that means really is that 2,500 years ago, this system was still thinking the earth is a plate. And that's where you get the word planet from?
He just said 2,500 years ago, the Gregorian system of time, the people who founded that, were still believing that the earth was flat. And that's where you get the word planet from, the English word plane, because the Caucasoids, okay, the English language is their language. They thought the earth was a plane, so they made the word planet. Okay? That is from their depiction, their false depiction of the earth. Okay? And notice he said they still thought the earth was flat. Which means that he said still because he knows that it's not flat. Master Naba knows that the earth is not flat.
Speaking the word planet from plate. Because the nutcracks used to think that the world was a plate. Planet plate. And they want you to be a nutcrack. They want you to think that the world is flat. You know, you got this, let's walk through this. You got the CIA, MK Ultra, and all of a sudden you got these nutcracks out here saying that the world is flat. They're trying to put you back in fucking medieval times. This is a CIA, MK Ultra mindfuck. Flat out. In the story. Now, if you can't listen to this doggone elder tell you what time it is, then you deserve what the fuck you get. You mentally loon, nutcrack, mental case loon, Kool-Aid sipping nutcrack. All you flat earthers are a bunch of nutcracks. Okay, we shall continue.
Planets, plates, plate, planet. Very interesting. 2005 years later, after we've been claiming we've discovered the edges of the world, you know, the planets, and we send people to that, we agree to the fact that maybe the moon might be round, Mars might be round, and all this, we still call them what? Plates.
Wow.
They discovered that everything out in the universe is round, but we still call them plates, planets, plates. This is a mind fuck, man. Don't fall for this flat earth nutcrack bullshit. If you believe in the flat earth, you're a fucking nutcrack. Okay? You're being mind fucked. This is a CIA mind fuck operation. MK Ultra. Controlling minds, controlling time. Let's go.
You can check the dictionary from Greek. Planets takes its root from plate. That's why we call where we eat plates. Okay, let me open a parenthesis on this level. So, if in this world we come in seeking knowledge, what knowledge is about is that you start one time thinking the world is one way. You live according to that. You find out better. And then what do? You readjust your life to fit what you know.
And this is what they're trying to do with this flat earth shit. They're trying to get you to readjust your thinking, to think like a fucking nutcrack from the fucking Middle Ages. They're trying to morph your mind back to the fucking Dark Ages. They're trying to bring you back. They're trying to bring you back to when people were in the dark. Dumbasses. Dark Ages. Thinking that the world is a fucking plate. And this is what these flat earth nutcracks are trying to push. And this is a MK Ultra CIA mindfuck operation. Flat out. Let's go.
You get the point. We're getting there slowly. ...2005 years ago, throughout history of humanity, it was clear that a group, for now, let's use the common generic. That me personally, I don't like using because it's not like that. But hey, they enjoy it, so let's call them that. I mean, white man.
This is from the white man. Go ahead.
White man decided that he has finished conquering the world. He is tired of the fact that he being a follower. He is tired of that. So he decided, you know what? Let's set a date. From now on, this is the beginning of our world. That's why the year one became one. So whenever you say 2005 years, you are in 2005. What that means, 2005, the system we live in officially was born 2005 years ago.
And there you have it, everyone. The mindful.
Now you can go to the Earth Center. Master Naba has his own YouTube channel called the Earth Center, and you could go check his channel out. I'm subscribed to it. It's called the Earth Center, and you can see his older videos where he promotes a heliocentric cosmos. All right. So anybody out there trying to claim that the original Africans, the original people in Kemet, claimed a flat Earth, that is bogus bullshit. Like I said, this guy has direct blood lineage to the Dogon tribe, and out of his own mouth, you know what I'm saying, he's teaching a heliocentric cosmos. All right. And this is, like I said, this is public knowledge. Now, when you want to talk about Nut and Geb was the newest cosmology that entered Kemet and didn't come into Kemet before the Greeks took over Kemet. That's when Nut and Geb was introduced to Kemet, when it was taken over by the Greeks and the Ptolemies. All right? The original globes were made from ostrich eggs, and they were used to make pyramid maps. Okay? And those were all controlled and created by the Moors. Okay? And they used those to civilize and to teach the Europeans in Europe. All right? Better start doing diligent research, man. Because I completely, utterly debunked this theory, because the flat earth is not a fact. It's only a bullshit theory. That's why you have to keep calling it a theory. I showed you nothing but facts and forensic evidence throughout this whole entire video, unless you're just some kind of completely biased religious nutcase. But now I'm going to give you the absolute nail in the coffin. See, this is going to be my last point before I leave and get out of here. This absolutely debunks your flat earth model, folks. Let's say that there's a solar eclipse that goes on, right? And we're in the northern hemisphere, and we view a solar eclipse where the sun's image comes in front of the moon's image, right? No. I apologize. In the northern hemisphere, we see the moon's image go in front of the sun's image, right? During a solar eclipse, right? Do you realize if that happened on this flat earth model, that the people on the southern part of this flat earth, they would see the moon go behind the sun during a solar eclipse? So that means during a solar eclipse, when the moon goes and blocks the sun's image, when the moon blocks the sun's image in the northern hemisphere, that means the people on the opposite side in the southern hemisphere, on the flat earth, they have to see the moon go behind the sun. Now this is the assignment, and this is what I want every flat earther out there to show me. And if you can't show me this, you're just gonna continue to prove my case that the flat earth is debunked and is nothing but nonsensical bullshit. You're going to have to show me a picture or video evidence of the moon moving behind the sun. You're going to have to show me in recorded history when the moon has ever been recorded going behind the sun. And like I said, I'll wait however long you want me to wait. I'll wait however long you want me to wait. You know why? Because I already know in documented history, it has never been documented for anyone seeing or videotaping the moon moving behind the sun. And that is what we would see on a flat plane during a solar eclipse. If the moon came in front of the sun, okay, this side would see the moon go in front of the sun. That means the opposite side in the southern hemisphere, they would see the moon go behind the sun. So you're going to have to show me any time in history where it has been documented that the moon moved behind the sun. Okay? Okay? And until you can debunk any points made in this video, your flat earth is the most nonsensical, bullshit, play school, preschool, laughable, completely diabolical sham that I have ever witnessed in my life. And it is so easily debunked, it is not even funny. All right? And like I said, folks, I'm going to wrap it up on that note. These are all the points that basically lead me to me accepting the heliocentric cosmos that we are a part of. All right, I appreciate everyone who supports RFG and Atlantean movement. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's the chosen one, man. I'm out.